What's up, guys? We got the first SMOU battle of SPL. I'm very excited because the players are two of the best. We've got ABR, famed for his Aurus antics, too many to list, against Lysergic, formerly known as ladder hero Mob Barley, and I can finally appreciate his playing without, getting annoyed at his stupid ass fucking username, like I did before. Anyway, so interesting teams. We see a total of three Tapus and none of them is the most overpowered one in Lela, and I really don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Lele or something, but I just feel retarded, so thank God I don't have to talk about that one in this game. Um, ABR is using something that looks pretty balanced, bulky offensive. A lot of SM teams look like that um, from my experience, and they can play several different ways depending, but most of them are pretty offensive, and he's got, Tapu Koko, blazing fast, outrunning everything. Lysergic bringing the late Aurus favorite, Zapdos, and Lando reveals itself to have U-turn, so I guess it's not going to be double Dan Z move. I hope we don't see Rock Skarm, that would suck. He goes to Zygarde and eats HP Ice, but that does nothing. So I guess that is the standard Subcoil set, which has, bulk out the ass. But I guess HP Ice isn't the most common move on Zapdos. Now he knows. I'm not sure what he expected there, though. Maybe a Heat Wave? But, switching Zygarde, which does really... I guess there's Bulu, but, it doesn't really like Toxic, and Coil annoys it. In fact, Grassy Terrain helps Zygarde out more than Bulu, I would say. So I don't know if I'd really like Zygarde switching in there, but I guess he doesn't really have a good switch into Zapdos, so that's good. So Bulu's in now on Zygarde, as ABR switches to Magiarna. So, Magiarna, I'm not really sure about this matchup. I would say Bulu's Woodhammers are a little too much for Magiarna to take, although I would assume Specs Floor Cannon would take Bulu out. And it looks pretty dangerous because Mob's one Fairy Resist is Heatran, and if that gets Focus Blasted, he's in some shit. Here comes Heatran. Does he focus? No, he Flash Cannons, which would also be super effective against the Bulu, but I just think Floor Cannon was generally a better move because it would kill either way. But it doesn't make much of a difference as Fini comes in on Tran. Is he going to defog him right away as the terrains continue to exchange themselves? He can burn it, and he does as Bulu comes in. ABR possibly expecting a taunt, and Scald is, he's not taking much damage, but it's pretty much, oh boy, Swords Dance, Fight Inium Z, Bulu kills Skarm, but not when it's burned, and that would be the biggest candidate for a Z move. I would expect Scarf Chomp from Lysergic. That's a pretty common set in Aurus. It came back after being relatively obscure all throughout Gen 6. It made a couple appearances, but other than that, and I would expect, Specs Ash Greninja. Don't really see... it could feasibly be Protein for attacks, obviously, but I just don't see the spikes on that team. So, he's Swords Dancing again, and we see Rock Skarm. Yeah, that's the worst, man. And +4, this all-out pummeling is going to sting. And interesting how Fini often cannot Scald Burn things because of its ability, but when Bulu comes in, then, that's gone. So, shame about that. He Scalded just to get damage on Tran. Here comes the all-out pummeling. It does nothing whatsoever, and Bulu is useless. Scald still being the worst move in the game. And Rocks up on both sides is a lot better for ABR than Lysergic because he's got, Zapdos for one, although it's going to defog right in as he whirlwinds out Tran. So he got some Rocks damage on those two. That's fine. But he's also got the pin. So now ABR is going to switch, take Rocks damage, and then Lysergic is going to remove them. So no, he's going to Volt Switch on out. I guess he wants the Rocks to pressure with Heatran. Yep, and because ABR's Tran Switch and Fini does not have recovery, it won't get burned by Lava Plume, but it could be a Magma Storm set, which could annoy it. And Taunt would prevent Defog, although I would think he would want the Defog. But he's still racking up damage. It's still early in the game. and on either side has a significant advantage over the other. I like that about SM. It doesn't feel like everyone's scrapping for their lives right from the beginning, as he throws out a Moonblast, not a move you see too often on Fini. You usually see Nature's Madness. Even with the burn, he doesn't really have much of a reason to stay in here. And Lysergic makes a great move and goes to Heatran, catches Skarm, racking up leftovers for Tran as he's going to fire off more attacks, getting Grassy Terrain even. So he definitely got a good end of that exchange. And Fini comes in, puts the Misty Terrain back up, although he's going to be around a lot more. Oh, it's faster. I like fast Fini. And he Moonblast trying to catch Bulu, I guess. I didn't see a reason to not Scald there. I think that was rather unnecessary. It does nothing at all. So I think Lysergic might be running some bulk on it as he's Earth powering away. Not really doing a lot, but Fini does get worn down, and you don't really see Moonblast too often. It's generally Nature's Madness and, Taunt and Defog. You see the occasional Protect. I mean, you will see Moonblast once in a while, but it's generally Nature. So I don't think Lysergic wants to keep this up, though. He is going to want the Fairy Resist if he wants to save off Magiarna for some time, especially because, wearing down Fini is also important for Greninja. So Heatran does get a lot of entry on Skarm, which will be forced in. I mean, because I think he'll be switching to it more than he would, Scarf Lando against the Garchomp. Definitely the Pinsir if he can get that in without rocks. So, switch to Zygarde, expecting the switch finally. I think good move ABR's end, and he got Bulu. I guess he gets some grassy terrain on Zygarde, so that's cool. And it is faster. But Zygarde is pretty weak unboosted, so I don't think Thousand Arrows is going to be taking it out. But he's got the safe switch in Skarm, and honestly, I would expect Lysergic to go right back to Heatran. I mean, it is kind of a ballsy move. Zapdos? Well, no, Zapdos gets 5,000 Arrows. It's going to be a while before I get used to that. But I just don't see him going for 1,000 Arrows here. I guess Sub is feasible, but I would think he would want to conserve Zygarde's health. But then again, Grassy Terrain, is helping him out. I love the terrains. They're great additions, in my opinion. Swords Dance Coil. This Wood Hammer is going to sting. Although, I think he's going to be able to get up oh no, it's Extreme Speed. It's not Sub Coil. Wow. Well, now ABR is looking really dangerous. Of course, if that is Protein Greninja and it Ice Beams, well, we don't know yet. But in either case, I would switch to Magiarna here. Or I guess you could go to Fini to scout it out. I mean, Fini's not going to be too useful, and you generally just want to feel out the Greninja for now. And ABR doesn't really need to defog. He just needs to keep his team healthy for the late game assaults of Pinsir and Garchomp. Those are the important ones. And Fini, set it on fire for all he cares. ABR is looking pretty good right now, especially with Zig at full health, because that will also... And now that we know it has Extreme Speed, that's big too, because that's more priority and more insurance against Pinsir. Hydro, wow, that did nothing. Good, oh, it doesn't even kill, but it doesn't matter because he got Extreme Speed. Holy shit, that did 0. I guess he just assumed it is Ash Specs Greninja because it is generally the best set right now. And he makes a good move, goes to Garchomp on the Extreme Speed. And after, Rough Skin negating all of this shit, and he is still in Dragon move range, or Outrage range. And honestly, Zygarde isn't really that useful. I mean, Extreme Speed is nice, but I would even bet that Zygarde can take an Outrage from that health. So he might just want 1,000 Arrows, but I don't think it's really necessary because Skarm's such a safe switch. So... and he catches him on Outrage. Unfortunately, it's almost certain he doesn't have Spikes, so he's just going to be roosting and not really punishing him back. Oh, and he gets a 2-turn Outrage. Oh, it is Rocks and Spikes. Interesting choice. It's a pretty common moveset for Ferrothorn on offensive teams, but looks like it works fine for Skarm as well. So he's going to roost up here. And here comes Tran. Are we going to see a Whirlwind? That would be a good move. Nice move on ABR's end. And there goes Tran. Should Zapdos not be able to get a Defog off. And it looks like Skarm City right now. I think that is also the death of Greninja. Greninja was at, what, 21 after the hit, yeah, and Grassy Terrain? Yeah, I mean, that goes to show just how weak Zygarde is. Plus 1,000 arrows, didn't even kill Greninja after rocks. That was sad. Didn't even come close, really. So there goes Greninja. This is just going to be Skarmory Wallage. I don't think that Zapdos is going to be able to pull off a miracle of walling the team. I mean, I guess it was I think it was kind of risky, man. Just like risking the Ice Beam, unless because like I really don't think Fini was needed there, and Scarflando U-turns around on Lysergic's team so nicely in case it was Specs, but I guess he didn't want to give it Water Shuriken, which I guess that's fair. Yeah, it was better for it to be Protean and kill Zygarde than for it to be. Oh, we see the Defog, although nothing's. I guess Pinsir actually switches into 1,000 arrows, so that's not bad. But yeah, I guess it was better for him to potentially die to Protean Ice Beam, which is a pretty rare set, all things considered, than for it to kill. Oh, Zapdos is neutral 2,000 arrows at first. I forgot about that. Wow, nice move on Lysergic's end. That took balls. It was better for him to potentially die to Protean than to let him turn into Ash Greninja and get the superpowered Water Shuriken. But that was a great move on Lysergic's end. So, wow, Zapdos is actually looking kind of dangerous here. ABR's Magiarna, we do see a switch to it right now, actually. 4%, that is a Salt Vest. But Zapdos should be able to, Roost Stall it, because I'm not sure, it depends on his EVs, but I would assume that he could survive one Floor Cannon. No, he's just Slow Volt switching out. Shame about the no Heat Wave, but H-Base is definitely better for him this game. Slow Volt switch, what's coming in? Coco? Depending on the bulk, and I mean, Zapdos is very, very bulky, then he could potentially Roost Stall Coco, with Life Orb and such, and, bait him into attacking until he could switch to Garchomp and threaten him out. And then maybe, as Skarm would come in on the Garchomp, back to Heatran, get the Rocks advantage. Fini just invites Zapdos back in. And it's not even definite that he has Defog, actually, because there's nothing that really needs rocks removed. And he wants the spikes, obviously. And maybe he's just going full out, taunt, whatchamacallit. Oh, he goes right to Garchomp. Nice move. Now to Heatran, in my opinion. ABR still doesn't really have a need to take any risks, so Lysergic does make the move. Oh, he went to Lando. Wow, that was a great move on ABR's end. Great middle ground. That was very, very well done. U-turn here, surely. Stone Edge, even better. Doesn't even kill, but he can still enter on the Zapdos. Or on the Skarmory, sorry. So now, do we see ABR switch to Skarm on the Garchomp? He doesn't really have a need to do that, I don't think. I almost wouldn't be surprised to see Lysergic saying, but I still think switch to Garchomp is much better. Stone Edge, miss. Alright, that was eventful. Anyway, switch to Fini, covering all his grounds. Dragon Claw does nothing. I don't think that was a good move at all. There was no way ABR was staying in there. And now he can't really switch into it. Scald's going to take Heatran out. Maybe he could Swords Dance with Pinsir without Mega Evolving, because then he's protected by Misty Terrain, so he can't get Scald burned. Also, yeah, I think I was talking, he doesn't really need Defog. He might just be going full out, Defog, or Nature's Madness taunt, and there wasn't really much need for Nature's Madness earlier on, so that's why he just revealed Moonblast. And he could also, be protect taunt, although I don't really see the purpose of taunt without Nature's Madness. No, he's just returning. I guess there was no point in Source Dancing because he needed way too many to beat Lando. And oh, there's also Coco. Coco is one of the best checks to Pinsir you could ask for. So I think here we see ABR go to Skarmory. You can just set up rocks and switch, or a whirlwind. Actually, no, he needs that for Garchomp. Disregard that. I mean, he's got so many options. As a Stone Edge, only Garchomp can switch into it, and it doesn't really switch into it particularly well. It's 54. I mean, it switches in, but not too many more times. The miss kind of hurts him, but I mean, it's really not that big a deal. Especially because Lysergic has to make ridiculous plays just to keep himself alive, so he can just easily go to Coco and just Thunderbolt, you know? So he can go to Garchomp, then switch to Zapdos on the Skarm switch, but ABR can once more switch to Lindorus as a middle ground, or he can just go for the Stone Edge route. I think Coco may have been a bit better. I mean, it's not like one Stone Edge miss is the end of the world anyway, but he does have to go to Garchomp. But I guess in either case, then Lysergic has to switch to Garchomp on either move, and then go to Zapdos on the Scarb. Oh, he HP Ices. Oof. HP Ice has been very common on SM Lando, as opposed to the very rare Oris Lando. So, great move by ABR there. That was definitely the move. And this game's pretty much over. Very, very nice battle. So, I guess Pinsir goes for Dance here, but it needs... I don't think it can possibly win, really. He goes to Skarm, 94, he gets Sturdy, he whirlwinds it out. I guess, actually, no, Zapdos... It's not over, actually, because the only thing that can really... Maybe he can sack something, and then go back to... I think he has to kill Pinsir with Coco so Zapdos can't roost. Because you don't want to be hitting a lot of Stone Edges. So let's say sack Magiarna, go to Coco, and win the game. I mean, there's no way that Pinsir sets up against Floor Cannon. And even then, he's got the 2 Revenge goes. Even then it won't matter, because, Coco resists Quick Attack. So, Magiarna, you don't want to go to Skarm and Whirlwind, because that lets Zapdos roost up. Or you can just, keep HP Icing. Return, Quick Attack, Coco's going to win the game. Thank you guys for watching. I enjoyed this battle. Interesting SM tactics. Sucked about the early Skull Burn. Still the worst move in the game. Should definitely ban it ASAP. And it was cool we didn't see we didn't see the broken stuff in here. So, Lele, Metagross, and that thing. So, Genesect just got banned. Thank God for that. Yeah, I'll catch you guys next time.